Hello, hello, everybody. So happy to be talking to Miss Abigail Mensah-Bonsu. And this, of course, will be an actively charged conversation because it always is. So I am just going to just dive right in and I am just going to have her say who she is. And I just do want to welcome the people that are here that will be joining us live and catching the replay. Hello, everybody. So Abigail, tell us who you are, please.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Hollis, for having me. um, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Abigail Mensah-Bonsu. I am the founder of the Moon Goddess Academy and the Moon Goddess Publishing. I am a goddess activator, embodiment mentor. I am a multidimensional healer. I love what I do. I work with highly impactful women who are leaving legacies out there. And how I support them is helping them to create that spiritual tools that allows them to continue to share their light while feeling safe and secure and strong and powerful in the truth of who they are. So that's a little about me.
Whew. sharing their light. And with your publishing house and everything that you do, there is such what I call this chat is calling all activators, hear the call to share your voices. So through Moon Publishing, you have two opportunities at this time. Can you tell us how these book titles, how they came to you?
Just I know you get this because you're a publisher too. Like I have a list of books that want to come through, but of course when the time comes and you check in, something totally different pops in at the time. You're like, look at all of this. Why not just choose one of these? And the first book that dropped in was Oracle. And it came in as a form of a vision where I was taken to my many of the past lives that I was actually an oracle and got to experience what it means to be an oracle. And then I was brought back into this present time to see the disconnection there and how the misinterpretation and how women's powerful voices and the intuitive nature and the light keep dwindling. And so the purpose of this book is to tap back into our oracular nature, which just means that tuning into the divine that we are and allowing the messages that wants to come through to be of service to humanity to come through. And I'm getting specifically to empower women, which is so powerful because as you step into your oracular nature, whoever comes in to receive these messages, these divine download messages, will also get activated there. And the second book came in because I was like, okay, good. I got my first book. I'm good. I'm good right now. One book. And a week later, it's like, no, here's another one. And I was like, well, can I finish the first one? And then I got it clear. And I was like, it was very clear that both of them wanted to exist together. And now looking at everything that's happening makes so much sense. The second book is called The Book of Activations. And it is exactly what the title, it is a book of activation. So, really calling in the men and women who are activated. So when I say activations, DNA activation, divine feminine activations, power activations, light activations. Activations are where we can bring in our divinity, whether through light codes, light language, energy healing to activate our highest potential within us. And so this book is going to it's like a book of light. That's what I keep seeing. Containing within, it's just different types of activations where you can intuitively just turn to a page and boom, you get an activation right there. What I love about it is how accessible it makes activation, right? Because I do a lot of activations in my work. It's just part of my codes. And, you book an appointment, we do a session, we really dive in. But now to have a book, not just my activations, but activators from everywhere coming together to pour into it powerful codes that can awaken all that you are. And you have it like you just holding it right here. Like just holding it is going to activate you. This is kind of like the vision that came in very clearly for this book and also Oracle too. They are conduits of light that will be birthed into humanity to support us as we journey through this intense times of transformation and changes. Yeah.
Just you saying it, conduit of light. It has such power. I just see like the power cords of the power lines and all of the wires that are like all embedded in together and then covered in this organized way in this, whatever I'm going to say, whatever it is. I don't know the terminology right now, but
You're
it's all
fine.
interwoven and there's this beauty in it. So there's organization within this space, which could seem chaotic, but you see like these DNA strands and how
Exactly.
so beautiful.
Yeah, when both books first came in, I had no idea why, I couldn't see the bigger picture. And usually when you look at your life and you get the invitations that come through, we can't quite see why we should say yes or what's going to happen when we say yes, right? And so these books, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start by saying yes to it. Here's the world. Let's call in the people who want to share the information in there. But as I talk about it, as more people step in with their own powerful energies, I'm like, whoa, this is so much bigger than I thought it was. This is so much bigger than me. And the people who are saying yes and contributing their work, their activations, their channeled messages in these books, they're getting up level. They're being up level. They're getting activated, and they're coming in so that we can create this powerful vortex of activation for everyone else. I mean, it's mind blowing.
Yeah. So tell us, is this like a regular written, because is it the 3,000 words kind of thing, or because as you're talking about the book of activations, it seems like it's a different kind of format. So if you could tell us a little bit more about that, that'd be great.
So both of them, of course, that's the foundation of it. There's the levels where you can do the 3,000 word, which is a whole chapter, or you can do, I have like 500 words. So that one, you just focus on the channeled message or just the activation. And so you have the levels where you can pop in. If you're doing the 3,000 or a whole chapter, you have the opportunity to talk about, for example, if it is the book, the book of activation, how did you become an activator? How did that come alive? If it is for Oracle, how did you discover that you had these gifts of tuning into the divine, that channeling gifts? Do you call yourself an oracle? What messages do you have for other women to step into their power? Whereas if you choose like the 500 word, it's just, here's my activation, boom, done, right? So it's really an invitation, how much do you want to share? But either way, however you come in to share is still powerful. So that's the foundation of it. And I think I talked to you about this, where it needs to be more experiential. And you gave me an amazing idea where I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So part of it is going to be a podcast option of it, where you get to experience the contributors give the activation. So through their voice, the power of the voice. And if you've had an activation before, whether it's DNA activation, it's so powerful when you're hearing the voice behind it. Like it just kind of makes it even potent. And then the third level is a video. So this is where you came in with the QR codes where they can scan it. It will connect them to a video. They get to see the contributors or the authors. They get to hear their voice and they get to experience the activation live. So these two books are really coming in to be more experiential. I mean, just reading the book itself is going to be potent, but then you have that added, especially if you're on a walk and you need that boost. You just pop the podcast on, you listen to it, right? If you want to watch it, it's right there. If you're a visual person, you also get that aspect of it. So those are the two additions, I should say, that came through. And one of it was through you. I was like, oh my gosh, it's an amazing idea. So yeah, I'm really excited about these. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's that multi-experiential level. You're doing it, I'm doing it. It's so important to be able to have people, because everybody learns in a different way. People comprehend information in a different way. So I want to touch on this. I think it's just an interesting concept. It seems kind of basic, but do you call yourself an oracle? And share that.
I know.
Yeah.
I call myself a channel. And that's what even though I've had many past lives where I was an oracle, I can call myself an oracle, but the channel feels deeper for me this lifetime. And even the way I connect and bring through messages, that for me, it feels more of channeling. Titles don't really, they get confusing because of everything that I do. I do a lot of things. And if I were to name every single one of them, you'd be like, whoa, this list is too long. Yeah. So the channel covers a lot of the work that, a lot of my soul gifts that come through. So it's not just me channeling work, usually when I'm channeling, it's activating you, it's healing you, it's empowering you. That it comes in as a package. So I resonate more with channel than an oracle, which is very interesting because this topic came in already, with the contributors who are already in oracle, how they don't call themselves oracle. And we've been talking about this, it's like, where is it a form of disempowerment? Where's the disconnection? And what it comes down to this is like, if you call yourself an oracle, great. Just make sure you step into that power fully. And if you don't, it's okay too. Just make sure you're still in that power. How does your soul gift want to express themselves? Most of the women in the oracle, they don't call themselves oracle yet. I know they are. They're very much doing it. They're sharing their gifts. Like when I'm talking to them, they're channeling the message. Like they can't help it, but they have another way of calling this up. So it's almost like the oracle is being redefined in our modern world, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you to define, because I know people are just joining us. So I want to say hi to those people that are here with us now. What is the difference between an oracle and a channel?
It's the same, actually. But the picture that comes in, an oracle in the past, and I'm going to just tune into one of my past lives where, I lived in the temple and, each day the people will come in with offerings and, I'll go into the part of the temple and get set up and I would tune in, of course they would use, like frankincense, myrrh, like they used a lot of the essential oils or the smoke of the essence to really get you to tune in. And it was very sacred. Like no one would come touch you once you were in the zone. Right. And then people will come in, ask a question and the answer will come out. So it's almost like what word am I looking for? Oh, that was a word and it escaped me. Maybe I'm not supposed to call it that. Right. But it was it was simple. Where you come into the temple, okay, I need to find a solution. How can how can my farm prosper this year? And then I would receive the message and then give it out. They'll go do the practices and then they'll have a prosperous, year. It was simple, but this life, in this modern time is not as simple as that. When someone comes to me, they're not just asking me. I mean, sometimes I do get that. This is the reason why I stopped doing readings, where people come and be like, when can I find my love? Right. And the way it's like, they just wanted, okay, am I going to find my love and how can, but they don't want to do the work that will allow them to receive the gift. So I noticed that through the challenge, what was coming through is not just the answers. It was like what you need to do with yourself, what you need to heal, what you need to clear, how you need to become aware of what is in your way. There's so much more to that, that it makes sense why I don't call it being an oracle, right? It's just so much more to it now because the world has advanced. The world needs more. People need more, or we need to do more. It's been complicated, right? We have so much baggages, so much illusion, so much stuff that we don't even realize that, whether it's lineage or ancestral or past life, there's so much stuff that are there that we need to recognize. So when these messages, or I should call it like the zip drive, of all the things that when it comes through, it is like a zip drive. It is a healing. It is an activation. It's a clearing. It is here's the message too. There's so much more to it. So an oracle, if I were to just define it in this modern world, it's a woman who understands her power, who is connected to her intuitive channel, who just tunes into her inner knowing, that part of you that you just know things. You just, when someone asks you, how did you know? You're like, I don't know. I just know.
Right.
And being comfortable, being confident about it. It is what it is. This is your soul gift. So it's a woman who's able to tap into their divine nature and use that to better humanity. That is an oracle. Whether you do it through healing, energetically activation, or actually channeling messages through, or all of it combined, that's still an oracle. The beauty of it in this day and age is that you get to define who you are as an oracle. Yeah.
You get to define. As you were speaking, I'm thinking, yeah, it's complicated, but it's also simple. We get so caught up in there's so many more, I don't know, there's just so many layers of energy and things and titles and da-da-da. But at the same time, it really boils down to the same kind of stuff. It's like self-awareness, connection, balance, intuition, like the simplicity is all there. We just make things really complicated.
Oh, totally. We do.
I'm so busy. I can't do that. 5 minutes. You want me to take 5 minutes? Are you crazy? I don't have 5 minutes in my schedule. It's like, what are you talking about? You don't have 5 minutes. Nobody is that busy. Nobody's
exactly.
They don't have 5 minutes. And if you're doing it right, then you should have 5 minutes.
Yes.
Like you should have much more than 5 minutes if you're doing it the right way, because then you're not running around like a chicken without a head all the time.
Exactly. It's a matter of choice. Where do I choose to put my energy? Do I want to do that? The moment you decide, I don't want to do that, well, everything is going to happen in a way so that you don't do it. The excuses will come out, the things that come out of nowhere to block you, all of it will come in. But it's about awareness. It's also knowing that you get to create your experience. When I hear someone say, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, it's like, do you really don't? Or what is that? What is the truth behind it? Do you not have the money because you don't really want to do it? Or do you not have the money because you rather put that investment somewhere else? Just be truthful about it, right? One of my amazing mentors, she was like, it's not that people don't have money. They do. It's where they choose to put it. And if they say no to you, it's because they choose to put the investment somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Money will always come in, right? It's the same thing with time. This last weekend, I got to hang out with amazing people and their children. One of them, I called him a time lord. And we're talking about how time is an illusion. And I was like, you have the power to slow time or make it fast. You get to make that choice. And it was like, what? I do. And I know this is going to change. Like he's going to kill it. Right. But we have that power and we need to remember that. We need to embrace that, like I even taught my husband that whole thing, like time, you can slow it down or you can make it quick. You have the ability to do it. I've done it so many times. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. You become a time lord. I'm such a Doctor Who fan. So that's why I'm like, time lord, But we have the power, whatever we choose, make sure that it's true to you. It's okay if someone doesn't agree with you. It doesn't matter if they don't agree with you. Do you agree with your choice? Do you agree with yourself? That's all that matters. Because eventually, if you're authentic to yourself, if you keep saying yes to your truth, you will be surrounded by people who will respect your truth. Yeah. They might not agree, but they will respect it.
Yes. Woo! Yes, and yes. So tell us so again, activators, hear the call to share your voices. Who is this book more specifically for?
So the book of activation, I'm calling in both men and women who have the ability to activate the highest potential in people. And this could be, however way they want to do it. I mean, we've heard DNA activations a lot, or light activations, or people who use art, like you, my dear, to activate people, people who write to activate people who use the sound or music to activate people. It doesn't matter how you activate the highest potential in people, in your clients. These are the people I'm calling into the book to come share, and what I say, what I've been telling the contributors when they come in, because they feel like they need to have the activation ready. And I'm like, no, you step in first. You will notice you're in a very unique container. Once you step in, the activation will flow in, because it is the specific activations that want to come through this book for humanity at this time. So if you're like, I'm an activator, but I have no idea what wants to come through, it's okay. Join and see what flows in. That's the beauty of channeling, right? And activating.
Love that.
For Oracle, I'm calling in just women for this book, because it is for women. It's to empower women. It's to uplift women. It's to activate women. It's to help women to step back into the ancient gift of knowing. And so if you are a woman and you have the ability to tune into the divine, to tune into your highest aspect of yourself and bring in that true, authentic, light-filled messages that moves people, that heals people, that inspires people, I want you in this book. And again, it's okay if you're like, I don't know what channel, it's okay. Step in first, and trust me, it will flow in quicker than you can grab the pen and paper to write it.
I so appreciate you saying that. And yes, everybody, you have to understand, you don't have to know the how. You don't have to understand all the answers. You feel it. If it feels right, if this feels like a space, yes, I want to share my voice. I want to write it on paper. I want, however it is, I want to get my perspective out into the world. The rest will flow. You have to step into the container, and everything that you're saying is just beautiful.
Totally, because you create containers like that, and right now I'm writing a chapter for another publisher in their book. And when I said yes to it, it came in very clear why I should say yes. But I had no idea what I was going to write about. And it wasn't until I said yes that the picture became clear, and then the downloads began to happen. Again, it's going back to what we were talking about. We don't always know what that big picture is, why we need to say that yes, what's going to come out of that yes. All we know is that I'm going to take this step at this time. When you take that step, the next phase will open up for you. But it's courage, right? And faith to take that step. Yeah.
Being present in the moment, just being here, being now, and tapping into the feeling. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Whew. So Abigail, I'm going to attach all the information for people to be able to connect. Do you want to be able to tell them anything more about how they can connect with you at this point, or do you want me to just put in the bio?
Yes, go ahead and put it in the bio, but you can also send me a message if you have any questions, or you can go to my website, moongoddessacademy.com. I do have a link there connected to the multi-author books, or to my publishing house on there. So you're more than welcome to do it. But there will be a direct link that she'll be posting for you. You can just click on that and it'll take you straight there.
Beautiful. When are you publishing?
This book has been interesting. Right now, let's see here. I'm just going to tune in, because right now I'm getting by the end of summer.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
Interesting. See, there's new things that keep coming in.
And this is how it works, everybody, is that oftentimes when there's a general time frame, but you're calling in the right people that are supposed to be in the space, and that can take time.
If it was my will, when I first received it, I was like, okay, by April, it'll be done. That was like my schedule. And the books are like, no. You're not going to rush through this. This has its own timeline. So I'm more excited of the people who are saying yes and coming into these containers and what we're going to co-create. That part I'm really excited about. Yes.
Co-creation, and we are the time lords, so we get to control, we get to slow it down, we get to speed it up, we get to do all of that. And whew, so before we say goodbye to everybody, is there anything that you want to end with, Miss Abigail?
You know, it can be there can be some fear when it comes to sharing your gift with the world. I get it. It's not always easy like we make it sound. Like, come write your stuff. You know, if you really think about it, you know, for most of you, probably sharing your activations, your channeled work with thousands of people for the first time. You've had a container where you shared your work and your clients, and it's very comfortable. And this is an invitation for you to expand, to go beyond where you're comfortable with, because there's someone on the other side of the world who needs your magic, who needs to receive your magic. You know, like, it's not, you're not writing this, you know, like through my voice. They get to experience you and all that you are. Your work needs to be expanded. This is an invitation for you. And that's why we're creating it in such a way where you're not walking this path by yourself. You're going to be walking with other contributors in the container, and you will see how you can support each other and praise each other and celebrate each other. And it's such a beautiful journey to take. So this is an opportunity for you, if you've been hearing the call to expand and reach more people with your magic in a way that feels good. So say yes, join the container first, and then watch what opens up within your life and within your world by just saying yes.
That is the most beautiful way to pull it all together. And yes, everybody. So my name is Hollis Citron with I Am Creative and Express Yourself Publishing. And you need to check out these opportunities. This is calling you, then step out. Don't let anything get in your way. It will come through. So Abigail, thank you so much for all that you offer into the world, all the light, all of the passion, the mission. You're just loved and appreciated.
Thank you for having me, my dear. Thank you.
And everybody catching here live, thank you so much. We appreciate you catching the replay, #replay, and we'll be talking to you soon. So bye, everybody.